What's going on, guys? My name is Jaice, also known as Virgin, and welcome back to my channel. Now, today we're back with Bukkit 101, and we're going to learn how to implement listeners to create a MOTD plugin. MOTD means message of the day, if you were confused. So we're going to get started right away by creating our Java project, similar to every other episode that I've done so far. So for this one, we're just going to call it MOTD tube. All caps, doesn't matter really there. Within our source folder, again, create your package. Make sure it is a unique name. Same format as always. And make your new class. We're going to name our class just MOTD, because that's easy. Then right click on your folder, go to Properties, Java Build Path, add external jars, and then locate your craftbucket.jar. Double click it, hit OK, and we are pretty much ready to go. So what you want to do is go ahead and make your MOTD class extend your Java plugin, just like all other times that we've really worked on this. And this is where your on enable comes into play, because the MOTD plugin will implement a configuration file. So before everything else, we have to go ahead and tell the class to call that configuration. So public void on enable, like always, and then we have to say get config, right, dot options dot copy defaults, which will just copy the defaults of the config and make that set to true. Then what we have to do is save the config, and that is pretty much it. Now, since we're going to be using a listener for this, we have to make sure that our plugin implements listener, because without that, then it won't understand really what to do. So just import listener from bukkit.event.listener, and as well, we need to register the events of this. So to do so, we have, whenever you implement listener, you have to do this. So bukkit.getServer.getPluginManager, make sure it's manager, not plugin command, dot register events this. Now what this is saying, it's registering the events for this on this plugin, and that's the only thing we needed for that to do for now. Next thing we're going to do is, above our public void on enable, we're going to go ahead and create our event handler. So an event handler is pretty self-explanatory. It handles the events that are going to happen. So go ahead and import event handler from org.bukkit.event, and we're going to create our message that's going to be sent to the player. So we're going to say public void, then we're saying on player join, which is when the player joins the server. So this will happen every time the player joins, whether or not he leaves, comes back, over and over again. So player join event. So we're defining on player join as a player join event, and we're going to say that is E. Then what we're going to do is import player join event and write out our player P and define that as E.getPlayer. So we're going to say player P equals E.getPlayer. And that's all we need to do, import player. And we're going to come back to here after we get things on the road. Now what we're going to do is define the command MOTD so that they can view the MOTD whenever they want to. So public boolean on command sender command cmd string command label. Oh my god, I can't type today. String args. So keep in mind, you just have to remember that on your own. Then we're going to add our return statement, return true, and we're going to get to writing our code. So now what we have to do is define the command, and if you remember from before, or if you took a break and you forget, it's just if cmd.getName equals ignore case, and we're going to make the command MOTD, then we're going to do this. So we need to, whoever the sender is, whether or not it's the console or not, we don't really care. We're going to say sender.sendMessage, and then we're going to do whatever color we want. So chat color dot gold, and then we're going to say plus a string of MOTD with a space, and then we're going to say get config, which is getting the config, and then we're getting a string within the config, so get string, and then we're going to specify the string. So this is just going to be MOTD, and you'll understand what that means in just a few minutes here, and we can close that off and add our return statement. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and come back up to here to define the player join event. We're going to say p.sendMessage, and then we're going to say chat color dot gold plus the same thing from before, get config dot get string MOTD. So just to go over everything we've done, we've implemented the listener ability within our Java plugin MOTD, and then we've created an event handler, defined it as a on player join event, defined the player join event as E, used E to define P as to get the player, then we've done P send message, and we've sent them the string within the config of MOTD with a chat color of gold. So that's every time a player joins. Then in our on enable statement, we've grabbed the config, we've grabbed the options, and we've copied the defaults, and we set that to true. And what we did was we saved the config and registered our events using plugin manager. Then, like all other times or all other cases, we went ahead and defined our boolean to register our commands, and our only command for now is MOTD, which will allow the user to display the string MOTD from the config. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to allow users to set the MOTD from within game using a command. So if cmd.getName equals case of MOTD set, then we're going to do a few things. First we're going to do is check to see if the MOTD argument was actually there, and if not, then we're going to send a message. So if the argument's length is equal to 0, meaning they didn't specify a message, then we're going to say sender.sendMessage, please specify a MOTD, and return that there so that they don't go ahead and continue to execute the rest of the code. Then what we're going to do is underneath that statement, we're going to say we're going to redefine string builder as str. Now a string builder is just whatever builds the strings. So I'm going to say is equal to new string builder. There you go. Go ahead and hover over this real quick. Let's see. There you go. So now we've defined str string builder, so we just have to type out str later on. So we're going to say for integer I, if it's equal to 0, but I is less than args.length, and we're going to append, which means we're just adding it to the last part. Now this is actually pretty hard to explain. I'm not really sure how I could go about explaining it. Oh, this shouldn't be a comma, this should be a colon. I'm not really sure how to explain it with that for statement, but we're just going to do str.append, and we're going to append it using our args I plus a space. So that code, in my mind, just works. It's what I use for every MOTD plugin that I've ever made, and I'm not really sure how to go into the technical aspect of it. So string MOTD is equal to str.toString, which is basically just defining the string MOTD as our string builder .toString. And what we want to do is we want to get the config, and we're going to say get config dot set, and then we're going to define our string, and we're going to define that string as MOTD, which is the same exact thing that we did up here, and we're going to backspace this and make that MOTD just like that. Then underneath that, we're going to save the config and go ahead and send the person a message saying that the MOTD was set. MOTD successfully set. And go ahead and add our return statement there. What's going on here? Appears we have a double up of a return statement. Oh, okay. So this return statement here should be boom right here. Correct? No. Let's see. So we have our return statement within this command, and we have it within this command, and then we should also have it within there. I believe this is good as we are. Next thing you want to do is right click on source, go to new file, plugin.yml. This is where we're going to just do whatever we've done before. So name MOTD tube version 1.0 main me.ralphus.motd.motd description MOTD plugin, very simple. Commands MOTD usage / command description display MOTD. Then we have MOTD set, same usage, same description pretty much, but just to set it. And now we need to create our config. Now this is where our string grab comes into play. So config.yml. Now this is going to go ahead and create this file with the defaults right away. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say MOTD, which is the string that they're grabbing out there. So it's grabbing the string, get string MOTD, and displaying it to them. So we're going to define MOTD as welcome to the server, ! Go ahead and save that. Now we're ready to go ahead and test this. So export, next, server, and we're going to name this one announce, or no, it's not an announcer, sorry, MOTD. Then we need to go ahead and run our server. So I can just go ahead and double click our run.bat, as well as launch the Minecraft game. So my computer probably is under a bit of stress here, doing all of these Java applications at once, but that's okay. Okay, so multiplayer, localhost, and right when we join, welcome to the server in gold. So it successfully grabbed the string from the config. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do /MOTD, welcome to the server, MOTD, welcome to the server, /MOTD set, hey there, MOTD, hey there, /MOTD. So everything went perfect. If we go ahead and disconnect and rejoin the game, now it just says hey there instead of welcome to the server. So this tutorial is just a basic look at how to implement listeners into your Bukkit plugins, how to define events, and how to go about grabbing strings and using configuration files. Hope to see you guys in the next tutorial. My name is Jaice. Peace out.